And remember, you can try any of your favorite toppings on a gluten-friendly 10-inch crust. Dine in or carry out. A new pizza creation added to the menu every month. Bringing New York-style pizza to the North Dakota Prairie. Spicy Pie, 1100 North Broadway in Beaver Ridge on Minot's North Hill.
You remember where this goes?
I don't know.
Are you sure it was a clicking and not a zzz, zzz?
I think your quash litter valve's stuck.
Do you even have insurance?
If we soak it, it should be good.
No matter how much you know or don't know about your vehicle, trust the experts at Tires Plus. Real answers from real mechanics.
Inspections are free to ensure your vehicle is always in peak condition.
Thinking service? Think Tires Plus.
Thanks for buying some room.
The magic of what we do really comes down to combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment, for any athlete to improve performance. Give us a call and we will get you back to doing what you love.
Carson, timeout.
Who calls a timeout in this game?
Me, I'm icing the kicker.
Really?
It'll give us more time to talk about First Western Bank and Trust,
Like our convenient online banking.
along with smart trust service options.
We're all about hometown service with bankers that know you and the community.
Okay, go ahead and kick.
I don't believe this.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
Well, welcome back here to the Spicy Pie. Scott Cattell, the Scotty K Show. And our first guest on tonight's show is the head boys wrestling coach at Minot High. That's Justin Racine. They are off to a, starting to really kind of get into the last part of their season. They're right now 3-2 in the WDA standings. Williston is unbeaten at 4-0. Bismarck High at 4-1, and then Legacy at 4-2. Minot is tied with Bismarck St. Mary's right now at 3-2. They will take on Mandan at home next week, and then travel this weekend to a tournament on Friday in West Fargo, and then on Saturday at Fargo Davies. Justin, first time I've really gotten a chance to talk to you this year. How's the year in?
Yeah, we started off a little slow with injuries and some guys not in our lineup. So, but as of late, we've wrestled pretty well. We on Tuesday last week we wrestled Bismarck St. Mary's in Watford and came away with 2 wins there. And on Thursday wrestled Bismarck High and just came up short for a win there. You know, Bismarck's tough opponent, and but you know, going forward, right before that we had Jamestown, and Jamestown was the preseason number 1, and we had a big win at home 2 weeks ago against them. So I feel like we're wrestling well right now, and coming down the home stretch here, that's when you want to peak, and I feel like we're getting there.
Justin, talk a little bit about your team, because it does take some time. You got those injuries that came up early, and as you mentioned, you want to be at your best as we get closer to regional and state time, and I think you're feeling that way right now. You're getting kids in the right spots.
Yeah, you know, the big thing is getting them in the right weights and getting them on the mat, and you know, we have a tough schedule for a purpose, and that's to build in the process of getting to February for regional and state. We're wrestling well right now, and I hope we can do it tomorrow with Mandan and this weekend in Fargo.
Yeah, Justin, you got Mandan at Magic City campus tomorrow night. Then at the weekend you go to a tournament, and then come back next week against Legacy at home. Love to pick up a WDA win tomorrow against Mandan. How do you, when you look at a tournament like this, especially when you have it this late in the season, What are you looking for when you go to West Fargo and Fargo Davies on Friday and Saturday?
Well, we're looking for our guys to go out and wrestle aggressive, go after those guys, not let. We want to wrestle our match, not let them dictate the match. And I feel like we're getting there. We're still got a little bit of a ways to go, but we're battling right now, and I'm feeling comfortable with our team coming up here at the end of the year. We'll wrestle Legacy, we'll wrestle Dickinson, and Williston. So we got, at the end of the year here, I see you got the standings there. It's going to shake out, hopefully in our favor, but it's going to be a dogfight to get into the state tournament. The West is always tougher than the East, so the goal is to get there number one, and then let the chips fall where they may.
You kind of own your own destiny, don't you? Because
we
you got
do.
Legacy who's ahead of you. You still got Williston, and then take care of Dickinson, Mandan tomorrow night. So you just you kind of own your own destiny of where you might finish.
Right, we do. We got some big duels coming up, and thankfully the Williston duel and Legacy duel are both at home, and that helps to have that home crowd behind you in the student section and in the stands. That helps motivate the guys. So,
hey, talk a little bit about individually. You've got one kid that is right now ranked number one at his weight class, and Gabe Mortensen at 132, coming off a Bismarck Rotary win. Caden Turnbow at 220 is at second. You got a couple of number 4s and a couple of number 5s. So you've got some kids that are that can at any time here. Gabe probably be Gabe and Caden probably the two that you look at right now. But those 4 and 5 seeds, they can make some noise, can't they?
Oh, for sure. That's the thing is those guys in that place in the wrestlebacks, we call them, in the 3rd and 4th and down. Those are the ones where you get a lot of points, and that's going to be key to our team. We got a few guys in the, as you see, top-ranked guys, but those guys in the wrestlebacks will be the key to our success in the state tournament.
All right, as we look forward to the state tournament, again, it'll be in Fargo. And you mentioned earlier in an earlier comment, the West has always historically been better than the East. But if you look at it on a statewide, and I know you're worried more about what you're doing in WDA, but is there anybody that can challenge in that East part of the state?
Yeah, we'll see West Fargo Cheyenne Friday. They're tough. We'll get to see most of the top teams in the East in Fargo Davies and West Fargo in duels at least. So we'll get to see where we're at with those guys. They got good teams too. So hopefully we can bring it.
And at this time of the year, it's nice to be able to go out there and see some of those teams that you might see down the road.
Yeah, you get a feel for. If we obviously hoping to get to state, and then you see one of those teams in the first round, you kind of know if you got to make adjustments or not, and so that's key to this tournament for us, is to go over there, and it's not one of our tougher tournaments, but it's a tournament where we get to make some adjustments there, and if we need to.
All right, hey, 7:30 tomorrow night against Mandan, very special night. You're going to honor a woman who...
that's next week against Legacy.
Okay, that's next week. But I saw it on Facebook today. Linda Anderson and her husband, Bucky, were very instrumental in not just the Minot High wrestling program, but also out at DLB. She passed away recently from cancer, and you're going to honor her next week. And I just think that's a great tribute to both Linda and Bucky. I know Bucky was the coach, but Linda was his right arm.
Oh, for sure. We'd love to fill the stands in that one. Linda and Bucky are super instrumental in North Dakota wrestling, not just Minot High or Des Lacs Burlington. They're instrumental in the state, and so we're going to honor her and hopefully fill the crowd.
All right, 7:30 tomorrow night, Magic City campus, then off to Fargo this weekend, and then back at home against Legacy next Thursday. Justin, maybe get you back on right before state tournament time and talk a little bit about that, but I want to wish you the best of good luck the rest of the season here, going into late January into February.
Well, thank you, Scotty. I appreciate you having me on.
All right, Justin Racine, the head coach of the boys wrestling team at Minot High. Again, they will go against Mandan tomorrow night at 7:30 at Magic City campus, and then back at home a week from tomorrow night against Bismarck. legacy. Hey, the January pizza of the month at the Spicy Pie is the Bloody Mary pizza. It includes extra pizza sauce, green olives, onions, bacon, pickles, Tabasco, and Worcestershire sauce. That's easy for me to say, and much, much more seasonings. Also served with a stick of celery. We're going to take a break here on the Scotty K Show, live from the Spicy Pie. Jason Schwartz, head coach of the Minot High Majets, will join us, coming off a tough loss to Century last night. And we'll talk to him about that and about the season right after this.
Looking for a great place to take the family? Choose Spicy Pie. They offer a wide variety of menu items the whole family can enjoy, including jumbo slices, 18-inch pies, grinders, wings, tacos, salads, flatbread, and even desserts. Join them for Taco Thursday with discounts on all Mexican items, including $1.50 tacos. Enjoy their Epic 14 football season special. Get any one topping 18-inch pie for only $14 with promo code EPIC14. Dine in or carry out, bringing New York-style pizza to the North Dakota prairie. Spicy Pie, 1100 North Broadway in Beaver Ridge on Minot's North Hill.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow the PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
BNC has been here for over 25 years.
We're still a community bank that's there for you.
When you come in with your business plan, your vision, your idea, we can make it a reality.
I love seeing projects come alive for our clients.
We're real people helping real people.
We know you, and we're always happy to see you.
We build relationships. You're part of the BNC family.
We are part of the community.
It's what we're built on.
Yours truly, BNC.
Well, welcome back here to the Scotty K Show again on this Wednesday night. We'll get to Jason Schwartz, the head coach of the Mannerheim Jets, who come off a loss to Bismarck Century, top-ranked Bismarck Century last week. Just a quick update on the PSP network this week. Later on tonight, 8 o'clock, Nick Holberg will have his Ice Time show. Then tomorrow night, we have doubleheader basketball, or no, we have hockey and boys basketball. In Bismarck, Century playing host to Mandan in a 7:30 hockey game. And then at the Magic City Campus Gymnasium, Minot High will play a makeup game with Jamestown in boys basketball at 7:30. Friday, we're back in Bismarck for a doubleheader. Bismarck High playing host to Century, 6 o'clock for the girls, 7:45 for the boys. And then here in Minot, we'll have Mandan in here for girls basketball, a 7:30 start. And then Saturday, it'll be Mandan again, but that will be boys basketball here in the Magic City at 7:30. Joining me now, Jason Schwartz, the head coach of the Bismarck, or the Minot High Majets, who are coming off a tough loss last night to the Bismarck Century Patriots, who were number one in the state of North Dakota, undefeated in region play. They are two games ahead of, one game ahead of both Bismarck High and Minot High, who sit at 8-2, and then Legacy at 7-2, Jamestown at 6-3. Let's go back to last night, up at half. But Century, knowing full well, Jason, you've been around the block with them for a lot of years. You knew that they would not go away, and they did peck away at you, and they did get an 8-point win last night.
Saw a lot of good things last night that happened positively for us, and a lot of things that happened negatively for us last night that we're going to take away from this as a great learning experience. I thought first half, it was a tale of two halves by both teams. We couldn't have played any better defensively. And that's just something that we've been trying to hone on a little bit here lately. So for us to see the strides that we've made, probably one of the best defensive efforts of any team that I've ever coached in the first half yesterday. So we had a really good feeling going into the locker room. Essentially I felt like we held them to 22 points the first half. They did have 25. We made a big mistake right on the last possession before the buzzer, and we let Nisley get free, and she hit a three to send them, with a little bit of momentum into the locker room. So they were going to the locker room at 25 points, and I can't remember the last time that, a team had held them to 25 points and a half. So we felt pretty good. And then, they came out and they got 3 buckets to start the half and kept that momentum, and it was just hard to fend that off the rest. Defensively, we just made a lot of errors the second half, and just we weren't the same team defensively, and they really didn't do a whole lot different. Just a lot of mental mistakes on our behalf.
All right, and so like I say, a tale of two halves.
Yeah.
But the mistakes you made in the second half are correctable.
Oh yeah, they're easy corrections, and so we've already put together for the most part, a game plan for the next time that we play and what we feel that we've got to do to get better. And you hit it right on the head. They're easy fixes. And the part that I was concerned with about that's the hard part versus the easy, and that is us playing with tremendous heart last night and effort. And that's the hard part, and we brought that last night. Now we just got to fix the little mental mistakes that we had.
A lot of people have said to me that, you've got the 3 losses, but you've lost to very good quality basketball teams in Century. Red River's unbeaten on the year, and the Legacy, who played up until this last couple of games, were really good. And you've got the luxury of that depth. And I've seen it so much this year when I've watched games, occasionally. You got so many young ladies that you can go to in different situations.
Right. And, we probably leaned a little too heavy on our starters last night. But Century did as well. There wasn't a whole lot of subbing as there normally would be. It was a great contest, a good battle by both teams, and they hit some big shots. Our big players hit some big shots, and it was a little bit closer than what the outcome looked like. I want to say it was about a 4-point game with 2.5 minutes to go, and we were talking in our timeout, how we needed to get a couple of big stops to finish, and we just didn't. So right in it to the very end.
Hey, talk a little bit about it. I mean, all coaches like to go undefeated. That's the goal anytime you start a season. But sometimes these losses at this point of the year are not bad losses because you can learn from them.
Well, I had some advice from a mentor coach of mine as I was getting into things, and that was, he always said, plan and prepare like you lost your last game. And when you lose a few games, you certainly prepare much harder. And it's a kind of a reminder to get back to doing the little things that you need to do to play a solid basketball game. So, granted, nobody wants to lose. We're not trying to lose, but I can tell you something. The 3 losses that we've had have made us a way, way better basketball team than anything we've done over the course of the offseason or anything that we've got out of winning any of our games. Those 3 losses have been extremely valuable for us. So we're not trying to, but we're taking the lessons from those 3 games that we absolutely need.
Hey, you got Mandan coming in Friday night, a team that just stuck around with you at home about 2-3 weeks ago. And they're coming in, they're riding some momentum now. They've won some games. They're now 500 in the WDA. Kind of give me an idea of what we might see from Mandan on Friday night.
Well, Mandan always plays extremely hard. You know, it's kind of the same thing that we saw last night. They're not going to make anything easy for us. We're planning as if the Johnson girl is going to be back for them. She hasn't played yet, as far as I know. So we're just expecting she's going to be there. So it's just one more thing for us to have to worry about in there. But, you know, we're up for the challenge, and, you know, we're looking at it as this is only going to make us better. So we're expecting their best. Hopefully we give them our best as well.
Hey, let's talk about what you got coming up next week. You got Mandan on Monday or on Friday, then you come back next week. Do you have 3 games next week?
We got a makeup game with Jamestown as well. So Saturday we go to Jamestown.
Oh, you go to Jamestown.
The boys have
That's
theirs
right.
Thursday.
That's right. So
tomorrow.
You got Thursday,
Yes.
Saturday then.
Yes, play an afternoon game down there
Boy,
Saturday.
and you're playing a team on Saturday that's running a little bit of a high note
Yep,
right now.
and then go to Bismarck on Tuesday. So
doesn't get any easier,
no,
does it, Coach?
No, not at all. So
well, you know that in the WDA,
Right,
it never
right.
gets easy on both the girls and boys side. Again, that is a 7:30 start on Friday night against Mandan.
Yep.
7:30 start.
Yep.
How you fit injury-wise?
We didn't have Fricky at practice today. She went home after the game, not knowing that she was sick. So that might have helped knowing that. I don't know. Maybe she got sick during the game. I have no idea. But the kids don't ever want to show any weaknesses,
Exactly.
you know. And Lily had been fighting a bug the few days beforehand. I think she was good last night, though. But other than that, you know, we feel pretty good. We're at a few nicks here and there, but, you know, we expect that.
Hey, we're getting down to the, you know, and I don't want to say that we don't have a lot of season left, but boy, I can't believe that we're already at the end of January, and there's a lot of games that are going to be played just because of all the postponements during December. She's going to be a hot one in the old town, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. You know, we played 4 games at the beginning of January over an 8-day stretch. We've got another one of those here, 4 games over an 8-day stretch.
Kids would rather play anyway.
Yeah, they don't want to listen to me barking at practice, and they just want to get out and play. So they're loving this.
All right, hey, thanks, Jason. Good luck on tomorrow night or on Friday and then on Saturday again. And
Thank
then
you.
the big trip to Bismarck next week. I wish you the best of luck. We'll have you on periodically throughout the rest of the year.
All right. Thanks so much, Scott.
All right. That is Jason Schwartz, the head coach of the Minot High girls. Again, they'll take on Mandan on Friday, 7:30 at Magic City Campus. Game you can hear right here on the PSP Network. And then on the road for a makeup game in Jamestown on Saturday. That game will not be broadcast on the PSP Network. When we come back, we'll stay with basketball. We'll talk, well, not so much about present-day basketball, but Blair Bacchus from the social media site, the Blast to the Past, will join me. We'll talk about some of the things that he is doing here on the Scotty K Show.
Spicy Pie, a great place to take the family out for lunch or dinner. Spicy Pie is much more than jumbo pizza slices. They offer a wide variety of menu items, including grinders, wings, tacos, salads, flatbreads, and even desserts. And remember, you can try any of your favorite toppings on a gluten-friendly 10-inch crust. Dine in or carry out. A new pizza creation added to the menu every month. Bringing New York-style pizza to the North Dakota Prairie. Spicy Pie, 1100 North Broadway in Beaver Ridge on Minot's North Hill.
Great smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics. Vibetta Orthodontics is a certified Invisalign provider. Invisalign fits your budget and your lifestyle. Braces for children, teens, and adults with affordable monthly payments. Schedule your complimentary consultation and exam by logging on to VibettaOrthodontics.com or by calling 701-839-6010.
Great smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics.
The magic of what we do really comes down to combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment for any athlete to improve performance. Give us a call and we will get you back to doing what you love.
Thanks for buying some fruit.
Well, welcome back here to the Spicy Pie, the Scotty K Show on this Wednesday night. Matt Merkin, the head coach of the Minot High men's basketball team, will join me a bit later, talk about their doubleheader win last week on the road, where in the NSIC it's not easy to win on the road, but they took back-to-back games last Friday at Wayne State and then in Sioux Falls on Saturday against Augustana. Joining me now on the Scotty K Show is Blair Bacchus. He is the creator, the owner, I don't know what you want to call him, of a social media site that he started. How many years ago did you start that, Blair?
It's about 2 years and 9 months. It'll be May, it'll be 3 years, so
all right.
Not quite that.
It's called Blast to the Past. You can get it on both Facebook and on Twitter. Tell me a little bit about, we might have talked about this earlier in the year when I had you on, but kind of give us the idea of where this whole idea came. Were you just trying to find something to do?
Yes. Well, in March, of course, 2020, when COVID hit, I needed a sports outlet, or I was just kind of looking for something to do. There was no sports to go to. Basically, we're stuck in our house. Other than for me, I was able to work. So when I got home, I had always toyed with the idea or the thought of what to happen to people that I played ball with. And that's kind of where the idea came from. So I actually had contacted somebody about them doing something like this. And it was kind of a lukewarm reception I got on it. So I decided, well, I might as well start it up myself. And so I started hoping that maybe I'd get a couple 300 people to follow along to kind of have the same thinking I have with wondering where people went. So then that's basically kind of how it started, and it's been going from there really well.
And I tell you what, you started out real small. I mean, I can remember in the infancy, it was just, you'd throw something out there with a picture of a past player, that sort of thing. But things are starting to evolve now, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't have any set agenda in mind. I just kind of go with the flow. It was mainly, when I first started, it was basically Class B boys. That was kind of where I started, and then it went to Class A boys with it, and then I decided to incorporate the girls, and that just really helped take it off. And then incorporated teams, tournaments. So I kind of try to do a little bit of variety. But the basically I call them the Where Are They Now segments have been, I guess for lack of a better word, the bread and butter of the site.
But I tell you what, I know there's been a lot of people that have been talking about the latest endeavor that you've done with this, with the all-decade teams. And everybody's got their opinion of who the best players were during their 10-year period. But I tell you what, it's been kind of fun just to see. Fun to read about some of these kids back in the 70s that I probably started broadcasting for them and kind of just forgot about them. And it's just kind of neat to see all that information being thrown out there.
Yeah, when I got started on doing the polls, previously I had done the polls on Twitter, and you only have an option of 4. You can't put more than 4 on a poll. So when I started with Facebook, I had to find a good poll that people could vote on. I had tried it a little over a year ago, and there was too many glitches. But I started with the 80s, thinking I was going to go 80s through present. And then I just kind of threw out the question out there and asked people if they thought I should go 70s, and it was a big resounding yes for that. So I went 70s because I could find a list of a lot of players that played that were all state. Mm-hmm. And then I don't remember if I decided or somebody threw out the idea of the 60s. And that was a little harder to get especially the early 60s, right, who was the top players back then. But I threw out a list, and that went over really well. And if you've been following this last week, the Class B girls, I just had a tremendous support, or just people just coming out and voting on that, and it's been really, really good. So now, of course, I'll move forward to the 90s Class A boys, and then 90s Class B boys, and then I'll go into the 2000s and do that again. So
okay, and the thing about it is, what you got to understand is Blair's just kind of doing this and flying by the seat of his pants. So if you got ideas out there that you would like him to maybe try that sort of thing, feel free to message you or get a hold of you.
Yeah, there's the messenger button on the on the site. You can send me either ideas, or if there's something that you think either isn't right, let me know. I'm not afraid to take a little bit of criticism. The polls is really fun put together. I know there's people throw out names, and I'm sad to say that some of the names I have never heard. My lists basically come from the all-state list. I have to set the stop at some point, and even with the Class B girls list, there was 108 different players that were Class A during the 90s, and when we get to the Class B boys, there's 136 names that I will be listing on those polls. So there's a lot of them. It's about, it is about finding maybe who my followers or Blast followers think are the best player, but it's more to recognize all these players that were all state and names that people didn't remember.
I think the neat thing is that you've named your all-state or your all-decade team, but then you put another post up there with pictures of those that didn't make the all-decade team. I saw a picture of Nina Top from Dakota. Was a great player, but I had kind of forgot about her, so that was kind of neat to read a little bit about her and some of the other girls that played in that era.
Yeah, and another thing, it's not a all-decade team.
It's not a scientific deal,
exactly,
is it?
Exactly. It's not a scientific. That's a good word to use. It's not a scientific. It's what my followers think, and I notice a lot of name recognition. I noticed on the Class B list of the top 5, they were all either UND or NDSU players, but back in the 90s, the best players, if they didn't go out of state, they played at UND and NDSU generally. So, but it's a lot of it's name recognition, which is fine. So I have no problem with that, and it's just the people's opinion out there that vote on it.
Hey, where are you at as far as followers? Can you give us an idea? You've increased your following over the last year, haven't you?
Yeah, I don't remember where I was exactly a year ago, but I think I would guess I was at 4,500 a year ago. I really don't remember, but I just looked today, and I just went over 6,700 this afternoon. So it's really, really grown and really taken off.
Did you ever
and
think
it's been fun.
Do you think it would ever jump that quickly for you?
When I first started, I didn't, and now my goal is to reach 10,000 in actual followers. And the thing is, I have 67 official followers, but if I go by the people who like my page, I would say 2/3 of them don't actually follow the page. So I'm guessing I have, 15,000 people off and on that follow me. So
right. We'll see a post or that sort of thing. So
I get the algorithms from the page and stuff like that, and I'm averaging over the last 6 months about 20,000 views per Where Are They Now segment that I do.
Blair, I want to go back to you kind of started this as where are they at now? You pick a certain player from an era. You've got to get some cooperation from these people to first of all want to do it, and second of all are not doing it because of the accolades you're giving them, but just because I think it's great to especially in North Dakota to read and to kind of go back and see some of the things that were done back in earlier years.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that were played in the 80s that have really enjoyed seeing the stories of the 60s and 70s.
Brings back a lot of memories for me.
Yeah, it's just fun for me to, most of the people I don't actually talk on the phone with. I mostly converse through texting or messaging like that. But it's fun to get to know some of these people, and some of them I've gotten to talk to, not necessarily a ton, but I'll throw out a name of Don Gunhoose. I didn't know who Don Gunhoose was. Yeah. I really hadn't heard the name until I started doing research. And Don actually got me in touch with several people that I did stories on. And sadly to say, Don passed away on December 26 suddenly. And but he's been a great help, and he was a great guy to visit with.
He was a pretty good basketball player.
Yeah.
I remember when Park River was playing Class A basketball, I watched him in a state tournament. And, that's the kind of guys that I'll forget about, and then I see their name pop up, and it just brings back so many memories.
Yeah. No, it's been really fun, yes.
Hey, you got any other crazy ideas down the road?
Well, when I get done with all the polls on the boys, my idea, and I don't know if it'll happen, is going to say who's the best Class B team of all time. So basically, I'll take all the state champions, put them in different polls, and we'll get down to one. I have my idea who I thought was the best, but we'll see what the followers think.
Okay, and that's what it's all about. You want that interaction. You want those followers to participate in those polls.
Right. I don't want people just to vote. If you're out there and you have a thought or an idea, and I've really in the last 3 weeks to a month, people have really been commenting more and more, and I certainly appreciate it, and I think other people do that. They can converse back and forth, and hasn't been any animosity on there. Everything's been really cordial, and it's been great. So.
All right, and again, you're one. You made the comment earlier. Hey, you'll take a little bit of criticism too. I mean, it's not all about who you think is the best player. Tell me why you think this guy was better than this guy. That sort of thing.
Right, and people make comments at this. How did this person get in there instead of somebody else? Which is fine.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say that because of a reason, because I might agree with you or I might disagree with you. Right. But it's your opinion. I'm happy to see those opinions out there.
Hey, Blair, thanks a lot for everything you do. Again, as I mentioned the last time you were on, if you're looking for a semi-retired guy that wants to help out and putting some of this stuff together, feel free to reach out to me because I do have time on my hands.
Okay. Well, thanks, Scott. Appreciate the time.
All right, Blair. It's Blair Bacchus from Blast of the Past. When we come back here on the Scotty K Show, we will hopefully have Matt Merkin talking a little about Minot State men's basketball. We'll do that when we come back on the Spicy Pie or the Scotty K Show live from the Spicy Pie.
Looking for a great place to take the family? Choose Spicy Pie. They offer a wide variety of menu items the whole family can enjoy, including jumbo slices, 18-inch pies, grinders, wings, tacos, salads, flatbread, and even desserts. Join them for Taco Thursday with discounts on all Mexican items, including $1.50 tacos. Enjoy their Epic 14 football season special. Get any one topping 18-inch pie for only $14 with promo code EPIC14. Dine in or carry out, bringing New York-style pizza to the North Dakota prairie. Spicy Pie, 1100 North Broadway in Beaver Ridge on Minot's North Hill.
You have built an amazing life by working hard and doing your job well. Delivering financial advice is what we do well. At Ameriprise Financial, our job is to use our skills, experience, and research to help you become more successful in today's economy. What we want you to walk away from each encounter with is satisfaction in knowing that together, we've done what we can to help you work toward a better future.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow the PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
With 26 flavors, got a sauce for every squad. Don't drip on the drip. It's the greatest of all times. Buffalo Wild Wings.
You remember where this goes?
I don't know.
Are you sure it was a clicking and not a zoom, zoom?
I think your quash litter valve's stuck.
Do you even have insurance? If we soak it,
So it should be good.
No matter how much you know or don't know about your vehicle, trust the experts at Tires Plus. Real answers from real mechanics.
Inspections are free to ensure your vehicle is always in peak condition.
Thinking service? Think Tires Plus.
The magic of what we do really comes down to combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment for any athlete to improve performance. Give us a call and we will get you back to doing what you love.
Spicy Pie, a great place to take the family out for lunch or dinner. Spicy Pie is much more than jumbo pizza slices. They offer a wide variety of menu items, including grinders, wings, tacos, salads, flatbreads, and even desserts. And remember, you can try any of your favorite toppings on a gluten-friendly 10-inch crust. Dine in or carry out. A new pizza creation added to the menu every month. Bringing New York-style pizza to the North Dakota Prairie. Spicy Pie, 1100 North Broadway in Beaver Ridge on Minot's North Hill.
Well, welcome back here to the Scotty K Show live from the Spicy Pie on this Wednesday night. Our final guest tonight on our show will be college men's basketball coach from Minot State. That would be Matt Merkin. Having a discussion right now with Jason Schwartz, but he joins us now. Matt, thanks a lot for taking some time out. Boy, I'll tell you what, you get a split 2 weeks ago at home and then go on the road. And in the NSIC, it's not easy to win on the road. You went to Wayne, Nebraska last Friday night and then in Sioux Falls against Augustana on Saturday, and you come away with a sweep. Boy, I tell you what, that really had to give you guys a bunch of confidence.
Well, we had a really good weekend, that's for sure. Able to win 2 games. Like you said, on the road, that's a tough deal, you know, to pull that off. So I thought we played really good basketball for the majority of those games. We're starting to continue, and I should say, to learn some things. And just talking to Jason there, you know, just you have a lot of young kids in our program, guys playing for the first time, and then we've had some. You know, you and I talked, I think last time, one of the times we talked was when we still had 3 starters that were out, and everybody's back now. I don't just say everybody's healthy, but everybody's back now and playing, and now it's trying to get a little consistency and get those guys back to playing well, and you know, try to hit the ground running here, build on that weekend and finish strong. Here we really only have, I believe, it's only 4 weeks left. Holy cow, it's hard to believe. But that's, I think, what we're down to now. So hopefully we can be playing our best basketball, and I think we're definitely moving in that direction.
Hey, Matt, talk a little bit about you. Like you said, you had some starters who were out. I saw one kid that came back last week, a local kid in Ben Bull, and you were saying before he finally had kind of a breakout weekend. Yeah,
Ben started for us the majority of his first 2 years, the last 2 years, and had a broken hand here and, you know, didn't play a game until after Christmas break, and then, you know, hasn't really been playing the way that maybe we remembered him playing last year. But you forget, you know, sometimes it takes a couple games to get going, and then had a huge game, close to 20 points. I think he had 19 points against Augustana College in our victory on Saturday night. So that was great to see him back. I mean, especially as one of our few returning players from the year before, and hopefully he can kind of join. You know, Jackson Gunville, you know, of course, the Minot High guy has been scoring it for us really well and is a double-figure scorer for us. And then Cam Dunphy, who's one senior that's playing, is also averaging double figures. So if we can get Ben back in the mix and, you know, scoring like that and getting 10, 15 a game, that really helps us as well.
Well, I'll tell you what, I look up and down. You've got 2, 4, 6 kids that are between 8 and 14 points. Kari Broadway leads you. Other double-figure scorers are Dumpy, Gunville, and Ben Bull. But boy, that's a nice luxury to have. That when you got kids each and every night that are stepping up.
No, it's been great for us to have that balance. And Kari's a first-year guy for us that played at North Dakota College of Science, and has stepped into we had another point guard that was starting early in the year, and Javion got hurt, and KB's really taken advantage of that and played well. And then, like I said, Cam and Jackson and Ben in double figures. And then we have, and so we've got a junior, one senior, and then a couple sophomores there, and then another sophomore, Jalen Cook, right behind him at 9, and another sophomore, Connor Hollenbeck, averaging 8. So, a lot of those guys kind of getting their, like you said, kind of getting the feel for NSIC play and the, 3-1 non-conference, and 2-1 against D2 teams in non-conference. And Montana State Billings beat us here. They've been receiving votes at different times this year, and they're a pretty good team. But 2-1 against the D2 teams and 3-1 non-conference, and then they got kind of figured out the NSIC is a little bit tougher, and we got to keep getting better. Some of those mistakes get exposed, and that's what Jason and I were just talking about his team. Even though he has some girls back that have played a lot, they have a lot of youth, of course, still on that Minot High team, and it's just really hard to continue to teach those kids how to compete every night, and that's the challenge of it. That's the fun of it. That's what makes it great.
Matt, you're 9-7 overall. You're 6-6 in the conference right now. You sit in 5th place, a game behind Bemidji State for the number 5 spot on the north side. Top 6 go to the playoffs. So this is a big stretch for you with Winona and Upper Iowa coming in to try to get a doubleheader sweep this week.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be huge to protect our home courts and move forward and kind of continue to get some separation from some of those teams that are kind of lower in the standings. And, the North this year is really, really strong up top. All the teams between Northern, who we were able to knock off earlier, and Moorhead, who got us, and Duluth, who got us, who have all been ranked at some point in time or another, in the top 25 in the country. And so those guys are really good, and we're kind of right in that mix of there's a big glob of teams in the middle of the NSIC that are basically between 7-5 and 6, 6-6, and we're in that mix of about 8 teams that are right in the middle. So be huge to get a home sweep and kind of continue to move up those standings.
Well, you look at the 2 opponents. They are South Division opponents this week, but it does count in the NSIC. Winona, who comes in with a 5-7 conference record, and then Upper Iowa at 7-5 on Saturday. 2 games that are winnable for you. Let's talk about Friday for sure. For first of all, because I know that's the one that you're really, worried about right now is Winona State. What do they bring to the table?
Well, they're a really balanced team as well. And a team that's maybe a little undersized, but really shoots the basketball well from behind the arc and just plays extremely hard. So that'll be a great matchup there. And then Upper Iowa's kind of the same way. I think both the teams are probably led by their guard courts and some really good guard players, and that's going to be the biggest challenge for us to guard. Is kind of them spreading the floor and attacking us off the bounce and shooting a bunch of threes. So definitely excited for that challenge and that opportunity.
Is this the last weekend of playing the other division?
We've got Minnesota State Mankato.
Oh,
and
got Mankato and Concordia.
Concordia the following week,
okay.
And then we finish up.
Then you go back to your
3
North
weeks
division.
at home in the North to wrap it up there.
And Matt kind of explained to me, I know we talked about it before, but the top 6 from each division will move on to the Pentagon for the NSIC postseason tournament.
Yeah, the top 6 move on. The top 2,
get a bye.
So the bottom 2 are eliminated on both sides. Hopefully we can continue to stretch that out so we don't even have to worry about that at all coming late into the season. And we've been doing a good job of that. And then the top 2 get buys. That was kind of where we were battling for last year when we came into that last week of the season tied for second with a couple other teams, because that's a big deal to get that bye down there. But right now we've got kind of in that mix for a home game. The number 2 and 3 seed get to play home, or the 3 and 4 seed will play home games. So we're kind of fighting for that right now, and
okay, so
that'd be a great
round
opportunity
games
too.
are played at the home site.
Yep.
And then you go to the Pentagon.
Yep. For the final 8 go down to the Pentagon, which they do a great job hosting that tournament. It's a really fun atmosphere. You've been down there and know that. So.
Hey, the question I've asked, and I think I asked the last time you were on, why do they not take? And I think I know the answer. Why don't they take all 8 like they've had in the past?
Yeah, they wanted to.
With that a little bit with COVID too.
Well, that kind of sparked a lot of conversations and maybe and the opportunity for some changes. Right, in a lot of different ways. Maybe some, arguably good, and some maybe arguably bad. But the thought was protect that 1 and 2 seed, and protect their strength of schedule down the stretch, and kind of help them be in a good position not just for the NSIC tournament, but for the NCAA tournament and maybe an automatic bid. Excuse me, if they don't get the automatic bid, maybe have an at-large bid for the NCAA tournament. The selection committee works, having a bye to that final 8 kind of helps your strength of schedule and your chances overall. So that was the thought behind that change, which I like it. I think it's a good move, and like I said, hopefully we can continue to kind of get ourselves in the mix for either that bye or a home game for sure.
Okay, and the other thing we want to pass on to you is that the men will play the first game of both days this week, 5:30 against Winona on Friday, and then 3:30 on Saturday. The women will play the late games at 7:30 and 5:30, and this is something the NSIC did about 2 or 3 years ago, right, Matt?
Yeah, I don't know if this is year 3 or year 2, but switched it up. We're halfway through the season. The game times change. Still double headers with the women's basketball teams, but now the guys will be first for the next.
Do you mind that, playing first?
I don't mind it. I mean, there's certainly advantages either way. I think and it's we got back at 6 a.m. on Sunday morning from Augustana. So
I miss doing your games, but I do not miss the road trips.
There's some very difficult for us, but it gets us back a little earlier, when we're on the road. So, and I like the early afternoon Saturday games too. I really do enjoy those for some reason. I'm not sure why, but I also, I don't mind the late games either. So either way for me, and looking forward to Friday night. It's the annual Minot State Alumni Night with a free meal for any Minot State alum, and that's always a great crowd and should be a fun atmosphere come Friday nights. And then Saturday we've got some high school games again, which have been a great addition to the Dome. I've really enjoyed that this year too, and had a lot of fun watching the high school games before and after our games.
Hey, Matt, you play at 3:30 on Saturday, the women at 5:30, then you got Surrey and one of the top-ranked teams in Class B girls basketball in Central McLean at 7:30. And this was an idea that was put, and I really think it spawned because of all the postponements and cancellations that we had in the month of December because of weather, where, hey, let's try this. And I think it's worked for you guys.
Yeah, we really started talking about it, kind of the end of the school year last year in May, and we were between athletic directors, and Kevin Harmon was kind of helping out over there with an interim basis, and we were just kind of sitting around trying to think of what would be something fun to do to get, people like to play in the Dome. What would be something fun on a Saturday that everybody would enjoy? And, I've always loved the Hoopster and the Dale Brown Classic when we have those over Christmas, our Christmas break from school. It's fun to watch all those teams, and we've got a lot of the top teams in Class B boys come in, and then hey, let's play some games before and after our games on Saturdays. And we've had a lot of good teams playing that too, and it's been really fun to watch the high school games right after our game gets done.
Well, Matt, I know you're a guy that you're focused on getting the Beavers to where they need to go, but I know you enjoy the nights off that you have where you can go out and you can take in a high school game around the area.
Yeah, last night was really fun. Big matchup with highly for over there. Yep, you got me. So that was a really fun battle to see Minot High play Century last night and go over there. And we're hosting one of the head coaching candidates for our Minot State football team was in town, and we're supposed to go to dinner with him with a few Minot State football alum, and he was all excited to go to the game too. So I wanted to go for recruiting purposes. We took him over there, hung out, watched the game. There was there in the crowd. Guys from Ryan and some of the DLB guys were over there, and a few other of the local high school players were coming to watch that game. So it was a lot of fun. It's always fun to see the other basketball community out supporting and creating a good environment.
By the way, I'm glad you brought it up, Matt. I was going to mention it earlier in the show, but the two candidates, the two finalists for the Minot State football job, will be in town over the next week. Got a guy from Rocky Mountain College and another guy that's been at Las Vegas, UNLV. So hopefully that'll all work itself out, and we'll find out who that coach is. But Matt, I want to wish you the best of luck this weekend. Boy, I tell you what, a home doubleheader win, 4 in a row for you, would really kind of give you a lot of confidence going into the last part of the season.
Yep, it absolutely would. That'd be great. And just come out to the Dome if you don't have anything to do on Friday or Saturday, or make time to watch the Beavers. And our women's basketball team's been playing a lot better basketball as of late too.
They got a split last week.
Yeah, they got a split and have just been playing better and better, and kind of they've got a lot of young people as well, I should say. Some of the local, North Dakota young ladies have been really stepping their game up lately, so that's certainly good to see too. So,
hey, Matt,
come out and support them.
You did a great job here for me, because it is 7 o'clock now, and I can release
There we go.
The latest poll for Class A basketball.
I like to time it up because I like to hear this too first thing.
And let's see if I can find the sheet here. Okay. The Class A boys poll did not change. The same 5 are in it in the same order.
Okay.
Century with 21 first-place votes. Mandan.
How about Mandan?
Mandan.
I mean, they've just been playing so well.
Well, and the thing about Mandan is people were saying they were going to be a sleeper in the WDA, but they're no longer a sleeper.
Right. Yeah, you get to double-figure wins without a loss on there, and then people start taking pretty big notice of that.
You bet. Mountain High is still number 3. Fargo Davies is 4, and Grand Forks Red River is 5. Legacy and Fargo North receiving votes on the girls' side. Century 18 first-place votes for number 1. Grand Forks Red River 3 first-place votes for number 2. Davies is 3. Minot is 4. Bismarck Legacy 5. Bismarck High, for the first time all year, received some votes along with West Fargo. I know this, we don't put a lot of stock in it. It's a media poll, but you know what? We still got to release it. And it's just fun to watch these teams. Minot High.
You're not supposed to say that about the media poll. You're media. You're supposed to say how accurate it is and how much stock goes into that.
Yeah, okay.
Don't listen to what Scotty's saying. It's a big deal. They're usually accurate.
Well, Matt, I want to ask you, and you've looked at polls and that sort of thing, but you really don't worry about the polls. But it is a conversation.
It's fun.
It's a conversation.
It's supposed to be fun,
fans.
right? It's supposed to be fun. It creates excitement about the game, and it's fun to say, hey, number 1's playing number 2, or 2's playing 3. Come out to the game tonight. So I love doing that for high school games, and the guys on our team. Like I said, there was close to double figure of our guys went going over to the game last night to check it out, and they just enjoy watching good basketball teams and being around the game. So
we had a pretty good
it
game
makes it fun.
Yeah, we had a pretty good game at Bishop Ryan the other night.
Yeah, that was a good one too. That was Monday night,
Bishop
right?
Ryan, yeah.
So
Got
a lot
to
of
see one of your future players.
Yeah.
Carson Yale.
Yep. No, there's a lot of good players in that game. That's I can't say anything about anybody's but not signed, but
understand.
Carson's still rounding into form a little bit after missing last year. Hopefully he'll have a good finish to his year. And then, Century's undefeated, and William Ware signed with us early too, so I wanted to watch him last night and get a chance to talk to him after the game, of course. And man, really excited about those two guys. Just part of ranked teams and recruiting guys that have won basketball games and expect to win, and you just want them to believe when you tell them, hey, you got to do this to win, that they believe you. And they're used to it, and it's important to them. So that's really high on those two guys moving forward. For having one guy from right down the road and another one from 100 miles away, that's a good way to start our recruiting class, and we may add 1 or 2 more. Who knows? We're still out working, of course.
Matt, thank you very much for stopping by tonight. We'll talk to you down the road before you get to tournament time. Good luck this weekend, and thanks for stopping up.
Thanks for having me.
All right, that's Matt Merkin, the head coach of the Minot State University Beavers. They will play Winona State on Friday at 5:30, and Saturday, Upper Iowa at 3:30. The women will play at 7:30 on Friday, and the women at 5:30 on Saturday. We have a high school game, Central McLean and Surrey, following the girls' game, or the women's game, on Saturday night. Again, the PSP Network, we have a lot of things coming up here in the next 3 days. First of all, tomorrow night, and let's see if I can find it here. I got the sheet. We will have hockey and basketball tomorrow night from Bismarck. It is Century and Mandan boys hockey, 7:30. From Minot, it'll be boys basketball. Minot High playing host to Jamestown. Friday, a doubleheader from Bismarck for basketball. Bismarck High playing host to Century High School, 6 and 7:45 starts. Minot High girls here in Minot against Mandan at 7:30. And then Saturday from Magic City campus, we'll have Minot High boys basketball, 7:30 against Mandan. Thanks to Matt Merkin, thanks to Blair Bacchus, thanks to Justin Racine and Jason Schwartz for visiting with me tonight. We'll do it again next Wednesday night. It's the Scotty K Show, live from the Spicy Pie. We'll talk to you next week.
This has been a presentation of the PSP Network. Thank you for joining us for the Scotty K Show. Make sure to like and follow the PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
You have built an amazing life by working hard and doing your job well. Delivering financial advice is what we do well. At Ameriprise Financial, our job is to use our skills, experience, and research to help you become more successful in today's economy. What we want you to walk away from each encounter with is satisfaction in knowing that together, we've done what we can to help you work toward a better future.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by